So I'd like to explore two signature themes in the executing domain that appear to be quite similar, but actually when they are apart from each other are very, very different. Where some of the confusion comes in is both these themes are often paired together in a person's top 10. I'm talking about consistency and discipline. Being executing domains, or should I say in the executing domain, both want to manage their world in a particular way. All executing themes want the world to look in a particular way and will control their world to make sure that it does. So let's begin first with consistency. So consistency is about rhythm, or let's perhaps call it a better word, habit. They enjoy creating a space in their lives which is habitually managed. So they might get up at 6 a.m. and go to bed at 9 rhythmically. Their day will have a distinct pattern to it. They'll go through that pattern and tend to keep that pattern much the same day in and day out. That rhythm gives them a high degree of understanding what's likely to happen. So that habit gives them a sense of control, or to some extent, predictability. But predictability on its own is defined by a number of other themes. So at this stage, suffice to say that habit gives security around what's likely to happen. Consistency enjoys this rhythm because the rhythm makes the individual feel safe and feels that they are managing their day, which is why consistency doesn't necessarily like disruptions to that rhythm. Consistency is often associated or closely associated with harmony, and when it's associated with harmony and consistency close together definitely do not like any form of disruption whatsoever, including people. So if we look at consistency on its own, the best way to understand it is in the context of creating rhythm to everything that they do. And they really do have a great sense of rhythm. When it is associated with a large number of relationship themes, you will find that this individual, particularly if they've got empathy or harmony and consistency, will have a very strong musical ability to them with a natural sense of rhythm. So that should not surprise you. Discipline, on the other hand, is highly structured, and they want to define their world in a defined way. I was going to say predictable, but largely what it's around is understanding a structure where everything has its particular place, which in itself creates its own efficiency and effectiveness. The white paper goes in the white box because when you need to find the white paper, you know it's in the white box. Of course, the blue paper goes in the, yes, you guessed it, the blue box. And so they create a very structured existence for efficiency and effectiveness in what they're doing and how they're doing it. They want to take the guesswork out of life. And so everything has its place, everything is governed by a rule. And so when they get up in the morning, discipline knows exactly where everything is, and they will structure their lives accordingly. It allows them to feel in control and it allows them to feel effective. Obviously, then discipline gets a little anxious in chaos where there is unstructured elements, and so the outcome cannot be achieved as a result of the chaos. Understand that what drives discipline, as I say, is to create a structured way of assuring that a particular outcome is achieved. What you will notice with somebody dominant discipline is they're often well dressed and well groomed simply because they understand exactly how they need to be dressed in order to be neat, proper, and, or should I say, the specific outcome in mind. Obviously, this is socially governed, so it just depends on how they've been raised and how they've been influenced in terms of what well groomed looks like. But it is intriguing to have a look at the fact that discipline really is a way that you can guarantee an outcome using rules. When the two occur together, consistency and discipline, they enhance each other. Consistency creates the rhythm, discipline creates the structure, and the two work hand in glove to create a highly structured, highly predictable, and highly effective way of working. Of course, how this displays his behavior is somebody who could literally be borderline OCD at times because they'll have a particular way they want their day to run, and they'll have very set items that need to be done at each time. and each bit of that item will be governed by something called a list. Consistency, discipline enjoy ticking off their lists, especially if it's accompanied with something like focus or achiever. But discipline, as I say, is around progress through structure, and consistency is rhythm. So, why they are difficult individuals to work with if you are chaotic, disruptive, and like the freedom of choice is because these individuals see freedom, unstructure, and chaos as a threatening, or should I say, as threatening to their beautiful, structured, and predictable world. Hope this will help you understand, because often we can get negative labels to this, and it's a very real reason when you look at somebody with consistency and discipline and see them as control freaks, when in fact that is how they assume the world should look.